Okay, it's just start recording. Just start recording, that's what you should always just sort of do. So, okay, right. Okay. Hello there. Today I'm going to be speaking about creating... straight away. What is it? I'm even going to say static building a Golang API which will also serve your static assets. Hello there. Today I'm going to be speaking with you about creating a Golang API which is capable of serving both static files, static assets, as well as serving API routes. This is quite a nice thing to be able to do. Just have like your whole application is like self-contained then, so you can have like, all of the back-end stuff available via an API, but also the front-end assets being served by the same API. It's kind of nice being able to bundle it all up into one binary with the power of Go. So today we're going to be using the Gin framework, which is, I hear, immensely popular in the Golang community. Just look at how many dang stars there are. 57,000 is pretty high, I would say. So Gin calls itself a HTTP web framework with a Martini-like API, which apparently is an older framework, but that doesn't really matter. API is pretty nice, pretty simple. Let's just scroll on down, and most importantly, its mascot is pretty good, I would say. So yeah, let's just dive in. So if I'll just flip us over to the terminal view. Okay, so let's just bump the size slightly. Cool, so I have a directory here. All that's in there is this dist folder. So if I just do a quick cheeky look at what's in there, it's actually just some front-end assets I've compiled, bare bones of a project I've been working on. So those are what we were going to serve from the static portion of the API. And that's all that's in there, all that's in this particular directory at the moment. Okay, so let's initialize this as a Go module by running go mod init and then the name that we want this module to be called. The convention is that we call it where you're going to be actually storing it, typically GitHub. So it'd be github.com csinclair, that's my GitHub account user, and the name of the repository that this would be called. So I'm just going to call this Golang static-ish server. Lovely. Yeah, cool. So you'll see that created us a go mod file, just with the Go version, which I'm currently running, and the name of the module. So we're going to need to get the Gin framework and have that available locally to us. To do that, we're going to do a go get -u for... What does -u do? Help! Oh yeah, go... I love that. Go get help. No. Go help get. Yes. -u. What does -u do? Patch also instructs to get update dependencies, but changes the default to select. Okay, cool. So -u will get you the updated ones, or also update your other ones. It does something to do with updating, so we're going to do it anyway. Go get -u, and then the repository, which I have over here. There we go, github.com, nicely copy and pasted. So it's doing a whole load of getting. That is good, showing us what it's doing there. This is awesome. Could have done this ahead of time so you wouldn't have to watch it, but then again, that would have required a lot more preparation and forward thinking. Cool, so that's installed. So just to start us off, we'll build the API itself, because that's all we now need to actually get started with that. So I'm just going to do a v, which I've aliased to end near vim. So v, and I'm going to call this server.go. Lovely. So what is this going to be? We're going to do a cheeky, it's giving me some options of what it could be called, but I'm going to call it package main, because this is going to be the module which gets invoked immediately. Hello Copilot, how are you doing today? So function main is where everything's going to get kicked off. That's what's going to run when we do a go run of this file, or we build it. That's what the where the binary is going to have as its access point. So this is where our server's going to live, basically. So get us started then, we'll make a new variable called r. Do a new variable called r, and this will be a gin dot default. I don't want anything special here. Gin, I'm sure, has so many features, but excuse me. Gin, give me the gin module, thank you. Okay, cool. So gin.default, that's just a completely default web server. I'm pretty sure it adds some like middleware and stuff that you could go and adapt yourself. I'm not going to. I want this to be quick demo. And so then we'll get a thank you, Copilot. It's doing the hard work for me. So basically, this is saying on a GET request to /ping, it's going to invoke this callback, which is here, with a gin context object. This gin context object has a helper method on there called JSON, which is basically a JSON response. You can give it the HTTP server, the HTTP status number. You could also get this by doing the HTTP module, I believe. Might just need to import that, and then status. Status OK gives me an in. Nice. Okay, cool. So that would probably be a bit more human readable if you didn't know what a 200 code is. I mean, if you're building web servers, you should probably know that a 200 request is good, but it's also very nice to have it statically in writing form. Yeah. Okay, cool. So then the second argument is this gin.h function, which is basically gives you like a DSL, basically, for constructing JSON responses. So this is going to give us back a JSON object with message pong. Lovely. Okay, so that's all good. That's got us started. Then we're going to want to actually run it. We need to give it a port to run on. I'm just going to do localhost, which would fill in this part here. I could put a web address. I could even put localhost, but I'm not going to. So you just do colon and then the port that you want it to run on. Cool. Nice. So we're going to get it to run on port 8080. Let's just do a tmux split up here, and let's just test that this works by doing go run server. It's done some stuff. Listening on, I'm in the way, but can I clear this? Pop up to the top. There we go. So there we go. It's telling me up there that on port listening and serving HTTP on port 8080. Lovely. That is just lovely. Maybe if I go for a new tmux split so I don't need to keep changing over. If I then do a curl request to localhost 300 / it was ping, I believe. Failed to connect. So I'd need to do -x get. Oh, I'm just an idiot. That's why it was 8080, not 3000. Message pong. Lovely job. Absolutely lovely. Okay, cool. So you can even see in the output there, we've got our GET request will come through to this point. So if I was to go through and send a few more, and then pop back to that tmux split, just there at the bottom, we can see it's telling us every time we get a request. Nice little bit of logging there. I think that comes from the default package. I don't know if it gives you that by default. Who knows? Either way, Gin doing that for us. Thanks, Gin. Nice one. Okay, cool. So back to it then. That's one of our API type routes, I guess. We can send back a message. We can send back JSON basically. We can send back JSON basically. That's nice. But what about if we want to serve those static files as well? So we want to be able to go to /. We want it to behave like an SPA, you know, a single page application where any route that lands us on a file should give us that file, and then any route that doesn't land on that file or an API route should then give us back index.html. So that means that you can do routing around, like maybe I could show you that in action, then again maybe not. So to do that, we need to we need one more piece of equipment, one more tool. If I just transition us back to the web browser, we need this Gin contrib static middleware, which is just a nice helper. There is some capability built into Gin for static file serving, but the only thing with that is that it's like on a single file by file basis. What we want to do is serve up basically any of these files, and if it doesn't exist, then no worries, just sort of carry on down the request chain. This particular piece of middleware was very easy to use and did exactly what it said on the tin, so why rewrite it when someone else has done it for us? Nice one. Cool, so we got another go get command here. I'll just run that off in the background. Okay, so we need to go in, so I've gone and run that in the background, and then they've got this lovely example which kind of explains exactly what we need to be doing here. Apart from they're using a temp directory, we're going to be using like the dist directory for us. Cool, okay, nice. Let's actually go and do some file serving then. So we'll transition over. Okay, so before we hit that get request then, we want to do a new piece of middleware. Middleware is done with the use function, so it will use this on every request. We want to use the static module, which I just hopefully installed. Hello? Golang tools go. Honifig go. Golang org.codes. That's not what I want. It's not what I'm looking for. Let's just get out of here, because I've got a feeling that I didn't do go get properly. Gin contrib static. Oh, okay, cool. Maybe the LSP just hadn't picked up quick enough. Maybe, who knows? Either way, let's try this again, because would really love this to automatically import to me. Would love this to automatically import for me. Looks like we've got another option here. Thank you, LSP. Excellent. Okay, cool. So I mean, I'm actually going to accept this handy prompt from Copilot, but it's not the public folder I want. It's actually the dist folder. There we go. Okay, and so this will serve up our local files. So what I can do is, if I just I have to just kill this server because I've not got it hot reloading. But let's just do another go run on this. Go run the server. Cool. And I'm actually going to go into the web browser, and from here we're going to do a localhost 8080 lookup. We'll start with ping. Ping should work. Gives us our message pong. Nice and small and very easy to read, I'm sure. Message pong, lovely. And then we go to / we get our HTML, which is being served, and not just HTML, the CSS, because this is all styled. We've got an image in the background there, so this is all static assets being served from the dist folder. Perfect, absolutely perfect. One issue though that I will show you immediately is I'm going to go to localhost 8080 /login. I'm going to get a 404 not found. Now that login page should be internal to an SPA, so it should be, the routing should be handled within the application, but there's only one asset, there's one entry point, the index.html. We haven't got static assets created for every single page route. We expect every HTML request to come back into that central index.html. So we need to fix this. We need to fix it. Okay, and we can fix it. That's definitely something that we can do. Let's just get back to the code. So we want to serve up any file that we can find. All good. We want to have our API, which is for pinging, but it could be a lot more. We can have post requests and all sorts of good things, database connections going on. We could build that out. We're not going to do it right now, but we could do. And then finally, if it doesn't hit any one of our API routes, and if it doesn't hit any one of our API routes, and then we want it to try to redirect back to our index.html. That's what we want to try and do. So we need to use the r.noRoute method, very handy, which itself takes a callback function. Not interested in what Copilot tried to give us there, thank you. Copilot, enough. And so then from one handy thing we can do is we can get the method, the HTTP method, from the context a Copilot is just cheating here and just giving everything. I want to actually click through so you can see there's all sorts of stuff on here that could be really, really, really quite helpful. But for our use case, I'm not interested in the cookie and all that. I actually just want the method, which is going to give us back a string method. So we're going to say if the method is a get method, stop trying to hint. I know that's where we're going. Copilot. We're going to send it to index.html. Written it out in full because I am the programmer. You are the helper for the programmer. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Thank you also for auto formatting. I appreciate you. I do appreciate you, Copilot. Thank you. Cool. Okay, so now we should have the functionality that when we go and request login.html, that's what happens when you go to /login in the browser by default. It will not hit any route that we actually have. It will not hit our ping endpoint, and it will finally fall back into this no route. Decide that the method is a get method because the browser is only doing gets other than form submissions, and it's going to give us back that HTML. Nice. And then the internal SBA app router, however you want to pronounce it, whatever nationality you're supposed to say it as. Router. Lost the trail of thought. Back to it. The router, the internal app router will then know where to actually send you inside the SBA. Nice. Okay. So let's see this in action. One thing we're going to have to remember to do is kill and restart the Go server. Boop, 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 boop. Nice, it's doing some things. And then if I flip us back to the 404 not found, let's give it a reload. Got the login page, nice. Everyone, we got the login page. We go to /, it's got the regular the home in regular index.html homepage, and then if we do a ping, we're getting our message pong back. Success. Is there a greater success than getting a message pong? Not in this video, there isn't. Thanks for watching. Cheers.